Zomato is in the news everywhere, and its share price has more than doubled since it came up with an IPO. Now, the real question arises, should we really buy it? Well, to answer this question, the Dalal Street is divided into two extreme categories of people. While one set of people believe that the Zomato is highly overvalued, and how can you give such a high valuation to a loss-making company? While the other category of people believe that the potential of this particular market size to grow in the future is just immense, and Zomato is available at dirt cheap valuation. And guys, we totally understand that the confusion is real, but don't you worry. As you know, LearnApp is always here to make your life much simpler. And that's why guys, in this particular video, we'll try to discuss two unique approaches to value Zomato that are given by two famous entities. And the interesting part is that they have come up with a price target on Zomato that are poles apart. So on the one side, we have the Dean of Valuation, the legend of valuation, Professor Aswath Damodaran, who has come up with a price target of rupees 41 for the Zomato, while on the other side, we have a very famous, very reputed brokerage house of our country who has come up with a price target of rupees 221 for Zomato. So that's why we'll try to analyze what were the various assumptions and the approaches that these two entities have used, and ultimately it will help you guys to decide on which side of valuation you guys belong. So guys, what are we waiting for? Let's get started. But before moving on to our main video, you guys should know that LearnApp in their limited time offer is offering a free personal finance course exclusively for our YouTube viewers using the link in the description below. You just need to sign up on LearnApp and enjoy this free personal finance course. So the first approach to valuation that they have used is defining the market and the market size. Now, defining what category of customer or what market the company serves is a major input to value a particular company. HUL serves the Indian FMCG market, Nestle serves the Indian food processing market, while the Maruti Suzuki serves the Indian passenger car market. According to Aswath Damodaran, Zomato will continue to serve only the food delivery market in India. If you look at the current market size, then India has a market size of $2.9 billion in the food delivery market. If you compare it with the countries like China and the US, the market size is much lesser. And the interesting part is that Aswath Damodaran expects that this market will only grow to a mere $10 billion by financial year 25, and he has given 3 reasons for the same. Number 1 reason being the lower per capita income of India. Now, as you can see in this table, the per capita income of our country is much lesser when compared to the countries like China and US. And he strongly believes that due to lower per capita of our country, people will not spend as much on the outdoor eating when compared to other similar markets. So the second reason that he has given is the less digital reach. Now, of course, for any online business to flourish in our country, the online penetration should be higher in the country. But as you can see in this chart, the online access or the online penetration of India is much lesser in compared to countries like China and US. So you might always be thinking that why we always compare the performance of our India in compared to countries like China and the US. Well, this is so because the China and the US are the most prominent example in this particular market, and that's why they set as a benchmark to evaluate the performance of Indian markets in comparison to these developed markets. While the third reason that he has given is very qualitative in nature, he strongly believes that we Indians are genetically designed to prefer home-cooked food over eating outside.
घर का खाना होता है.
And that's why he strongly believes that over the longer term time horizon, this market will not grow as much as we are really betting on. And that's why, because of these 3 reasons, Aswath Damodaran strongly believes that Zomato will only cater to the food delivery market of our country, and this market will only grow to $10 billion by 2025. Now, against this view of Aswath Damodaran, the brokerage house clearly expects that the Zomato will not only serve to the food delivery market of India, rather it will serve to the food tech market of India. And they expect that this market will grow to a major $25 billion by 2025. Now, this market size growth assumption is 2.5 times higher than what was given by Aswath Damodaran. Also, the brokerage house has taken a completely contrary view against Aswath Damodaran that neither the per capita income nor the preference towards home cooked food will serve as a negative point for the Zomato's growth. And to support this fact, they have done a very interesting analysis. Now, this type of analysis is also referred to as a cohort retention analysis. And as you can see in this chart, that a customer acquired by Zomato in 2017, assuming was placing an order of rupees 100 at that time, the same customer is placing an order of rupees 290 today. And you know what's the interesting part is that this growth is much higher when compared to the same peers listed in the countries like China, US and UK, despite being the fact that their per capita income is much higher. So the second approach to valuation that they have used is number of players in the industry by 2025. Now, of course, analyzing a competitive landscape in the industry is very much important because higher the competition, lower, or rather it will be more difficult to generate higher amount of profit. Now, according to Aswath Damodaran, he expects that the food delivery market will attract huge competition in the future, and according to him, there will be 3 to 4 major players that will dominate the market. And because of this reason, he clearly expects that the Zomato market share will be restricted to just 40% by 2025. Also, talking about competition, he has also left a cautious note that Amazon Food might be a significant competitor for the Zomato, and it might be possible in the future that the market share of Zomato can reduce further due to stiff competition from the Amazon Food. While on the other hand, the brokerage house clearly expect that Amazon Food will not be a competitor for the Zomato, and the market will be duopoly market in which only Swiggy and Zomato will be operating. And between Swiggy and Zomato also, the Zomato will have a major 50% plus market share. So the third approach to valuation that they have used is number of orders made by consumers. Now, Aswath Damodaran clearly expect that an average Zomato customer will only order just once per month, and that's why he expect that the revenue will grow at a 37% CAGR. So if the revenues are 1994 crore today, they will grow to 5127 crore by 2024. Now, against this view of Aswath Damodaran, the brokerage house clearly expect that an average Zomato customer would order at least 3 times a month. Now, this target is almost 3 times the target that was given by Aswath Damodaran, and that's why the brokerage house expect that the revenue of the Zomato will grow at a CAGR of 57.5%. So if the revenues are 1994 crore today, they will grow to 7796 crore by 2024. So the fourth approach to valuation that they have used is revenue share of Zomato. And trust me guys, this point is gonna be very interesting. Now before moving on to this point, you need to understand a concept which is referred to as a take rate. Now this take rate is a certain percentage of the total invoice value that goes to the Zomato's pocket. So let's assume if the invoice value is rupees 100 and the take rate is 10, then 10% of rupees 100, that is rupees 10, will go to the Zomato's pocket. Now, Aswath Damodaran clearly expect that this take rate for Zomato will be a major 22% by financial year 2025. So let's suppose if the gross order value is rupees 100, then Zomato will earn a rupees 22 out of this gross order value. Now, before moving on to brokerage analysis report, you guys might have assumed by now that brokerage houses are quite bullish on the growth of Zomato. So they might have given a higher target for the take rate for Zomato, probably higher than the Aswath Damodaran target. However, in this case, the brokerage house has given a target of 17.2% for the take rate. Now, this target is much lesser than what was given by the Aswath Damodaran. This means that if a gross order value is rupees 100, then only 17.2 rupees will go to the Zomato's pocket. Well, after going through all this, we just wonder that how they came up with such a high price target for Zomato, while the answer lies in the fifth approach to valuation, that is operating margins. So the brokerage house clearly expect that Zomato will turn profitable by 2023 itself. As we saw in the cohort retention analysis, that as the average order value of the customer is increasing, keeping the delivery cost same, the operating margins of the Zomato will touch a major 24% plus mark by 2025. Now, against this view of brokerage house, Aswath Damodaran expect that it will take some time for Zomato to turn profitable. Rather, according to him, till 2025, Zomato will continue to report losses which will be equivalent to 10% of the total revenue. According to him, Zomato will only turn profitable by 2027. So guys, this was all about the 5 assumptions and approaches that were used to value Zomato. So whatever assumption or approaches that suits you, you can choose your side of valuation. Also guys, do not forget to click the link in the description below to grab your free personal finance course. This is exclusively a limited time offer for you YouTube viewers. Also guys, I know you haven't subscribed the channel. I mean guys, आते हो, वीडियो देखते हो और चले जाते हो यार, अच्छा नहीं लगता यार, प्लीज सब्सक्राइब कर दो. See you in the next video.